Welcome back to Grit Gym. Today we're going over the Shoulder Saver series. Say that 10 times fast, but I'm Adam Reese and I help people that have been in pain for a really long time, haven't been able to work out. I help them get back to where they can work out again. And a lot of the times that's just giving them the right exercises, and you'd be amazed how far that really goes. But today we're going into the shoulder, and yesterday we went over alignment. And if you're interested about your alignment, go to gritgym.com/PDS. That gets you, and sign up there. That gets you a program design session out here so we can get very, very clear with what you have going on, your specific circumstance, because just a little tweak in your programming can make a world of difference. You get on on a program with the exercises that are specifically made to you, and you're really going to fly. Okay, a lot of the time the program, you didn't fail the program definitely failed you, and that is the case with 99.9% of the programs out there. But today we're going to talk about three muscles mostly. We're going to talk about referred pain coming from the muscles that rolls down to your shoulder. So you've got the scalene, sternocleidomastoid, and you've got subclavius right here. Referral pain from these goes down the back of the arm and the front of the shoulder. So a lot of people are complaining about pain in the front of their shoulder. You know, maybe this is because you're bench pressing too much. Maybe this is because your shoulders sit really far forward. Maybe it's because your shoulders anteriorly tilt a ton. Maybe it's because your shoulders sit really low like this. You don't want either. You don't want any of those, and that can affect the stress on these muscles. So what you have here, let's say that you have like your sternum, you have your collarbone that is sticking out from underneath that, and then you have like your neck back behind those, right? You can't really see those real well, but you have a subclavius right here, you have your sternocleidomastoid right there, and then you have your scalene coming back right underneath. Now the scalene is this one right here. It's one of your breather muscles. It goes down and it connects to that first rib underneath your collarbone here. It's like right in here. You can kind of see if I really, right in there, okay? If there's a lot of pressure on the scalene, and it's constantly having to pull up on that first rib to get you to create negative pressure in your lungs so that you can breathe. Well, we want this, obviously, but eventually if there's enough pain in the front of your shoulder, what the surgeon will go in and do, put a slice through your neck right here, tear out that scalene, remove first rib, and then the blood vessel and the nerve can function without impediment from that scalene being all stressed out. Okay, you do not want this. This is called thoracic outlet syndrome, and that is the surgery that they use to make it better. And that's this muscle right here. Okay, it comes down, attaches that first rib, and they remove that first rib, and then you're better. Now the interesting thing about that is that maybe it was completely unnecessary, and I almost guarantee you it is every time, because it just doesn't take that much to go from having your shoulder blades here to getting more comfortable with your shoulder blades up here, pulling that serratus anterior through to get into a better position, so to take pressure off of that scalene in the first place, okay? So that's one of the biggest things that we can do. We can get a little bit of soft tissue work on that scalene, and then we can raise the shoulders up to take pressure off of it. You can do the same thing with sternocleidomastoid, and you can do the same thing with subclavius. Now, if you think that this is something that you might be experiencing, you're experiencing pain through the front of the shoulder, you're experiencing pain through the back of the arm. Now, I'm not a physical therapist. That's not my job. My job is not to deal with an injury. So this is probably a very good place to come in, start your program, and get assessed, because I'll immediately push you out to the physical therapist that is appropriate for you if you're not within inside my scope. So if you're having pain down the back of your arm or in the front of your shoulder, well, these are three spots that you can look at, and it's very easy to dig into these. And you want to treat this is to give you an idea of referred pain. What I'm talking about there is like, even though the pain's right here, the source is up here in your neck. And this isn't like some yoga flu nonsense. I mean, this is like well documented stuff. For instance, if you grab a hold of your sternocleidomastoid right here, this muscle, okay, and don't be going nuts on this. It's very delicate. This is not a quad. This is not a hamstring. You can't just beat the piss out of this thing and expect good things to happen. Be very nice. Be very, very nice to this muscle. Okay, but if you squeeze this right here, you kind of just massage it up and down just a little bit, if you can tell what I'm doing right there. About 40% of people will feel that in the front of their forehead. Okay, that's what I mean by referral. It's not local. It's not just, oh, the pain's right here, so must be the problem. Okay, there was a chiropractor one time. There's a lady that came in here after going to the chiropractor, and she said that they took the activator, that thing, that spring-loaded thing that just beats your muscle, okay, which is fine. It's just a soft tissue technique. It's kind of, it's a little silly. It's very unsophisticated. But anyway, she had pain in the front of her shoulder. He took the activator, put it on the spot of pain, clicked it. This is a person who does not understand pain, who does not understand the body, who is very, very, very undereducated. And you're like, Adam, he's a doctor of chiropractics. I don't care. He's a quack. Okay? This guy is a joke. He should be ashamed of himself because he probably put more damage to that tissue than was actually there in the first place. And maybe this wasn't even damaged. It was probably maybe up in here. There was a laundry list of other things that we could look at before we go in and try to push on that spot. So what are 3 things that you can do? Well, for one, subclavius sits right underneath collarbone. So find your sternum, find collarbone, and then just massage it a little bit. It's really not all that, like you can do this anywhere. So you just spend some time massaging on subclavius, right? You just go back and forth and you spend maybe like, 10 to 30 seconds doing this. And you switch sides and hit the other side. All right, so now we're going to get it up into sternocleidomastoid and scalene. So for scalene, what I would say is put 2 fingers on the front, 2 fingers on the back, put your chin down right on top of those, take a big inhale, look up and away, come back to that flex position to relax the muscle, okay? Then put a little bit of pressure on there, look up and away, exhale. Do not push on this hard. Be very, very gentle here. Do not push on this hard. Okay, you're only going to need about 5 to 8 of those. All right, and then we're going to go, so we were right here. Now we're just going to go up about like half an inch. Okay, same thing. Push in. Inhale. Exhale. Push in. Okay, be very, very, very gentle on this. But it's like the amazing thing is every once in a while someone will come in here and we'll be going through their program design session, and I'll just stop and I'll be like, let me show you a couple things. I think this might be the case. We'll see. If it doesn't work, what are we out? We spend a little bit of time massaging a little bit of an area. We'll take an mobility ball, we'll put them up against the rack, and we'll kind of work these 2 spots plus the subclavius. They'll get done and they'll go, it's gone. Like it's completely gone. I'll be like, that's all we needed to do. Sometimes it's so simple. Some of this stuff, you put it in line and it's just so simple, okay? And then we had to do some other stuff to help them along the way because they needed to get their shoulders up higher, but we just did a little bit of massage on these 2 different spots, and the referred pain went out of the back of the arm and off of the shoulder. Now, think of the implications of that for this person. Okay, this person who could not work out, mindset-wise, they've got this huge mental block. Every time they go to work out, they end up in tons of pain. How much fun is it to go to the weight room if every single time you hurt? Okay, you're not going to keep going. You are going to stop. Okay, if you can go to the weight room and have a positive experience there, then you're probably more likely to be consistent with your training. When you're consistent with your training, you can have results from your training. When you have results from your training, you can use them in the outside world. When you can use them in the outside world, you have a more positive, better experience in your life. Okay, that's what we're trying to do in here. But if we don't have that, then we're just going to have this negative experience. So they had this huge mental block in the way. All right, then we can actually do some other things to get those shoulder blades up into a better position up here where they should be, with that shoulder blade locked into the spine the way that it should, taking more pressure off of that scalene and off of that sternocleidomastoid and off of that subclavius to put that collarbone in the better alignment that it needs to be and the shoulder blade in the better alignment that it needs to be, not warped around, but nice and flat, not like this, but like this. Okay, I'm not moving my upper back there. I'm moving my shoulder. I'm moving my shoulder blade. All right, so better positioning of the shoulder blade, and then that further just capitalized on and complemented, alliteration aside there, I used the wrong word, but they complemented each other as we were going, and then 6 months later, the person's out of pain completely, day to day, is able to raise their arm over their head, do all the things that they need to do, and not be injured in the process, okay, or not be in pain in the process. That's an amazing thing. Okay, just because we did just a few little things right, and we set a stimulus that the body could adapt to, and then the body did adapt to it, and then we set another one, the body did adapt to that, set another one, the body did adapt to that, and we coached the gain along. Okay, a lot of the exercise world wants to submit your body to its will, and that's a very, very silly thing to do. It's going to end you up in a lot of pain. So try these. Just try these real quick. If you have shoulder pain, if you have pain in the front of your shoulder, just try massaging right underneath that collarbone, right next to the sternum, okay? And then go on that sternocleidomastoid right up front. It's this guy right here that you can grab a hold of, and then go right behind that. Look in, look away. And if you are interested, if this is at all, and I encourage you to do this, you should do this. And we can do this over the internet too. It doesn't matter if you're in, I don't know, Istanbul. We could do this over the internet, but we could have a program design session out here. You come out, we do an assessment, and then I build a program that is specific to you with the exercises you need to get yourself out of where you are right now. And you do that by going to gritgym.com/PDS. And you can take that program, whether you're going to work out here or not, you have a program with guidance that's going to get you to where you want to go, and you get access to all the exercises that you're going to use. So video access to those so that you can do them at home. But I encourage you to do that, to do the program design session, but this is a very easy, quick thing that you can do. You find these 3 muscles. The referral pain from these muscles is down the back of the arm and the front of the shoulder. So if you know anybody with a bunch of pain in the front of the shoulder, send them this video. This could be everything that they need. It could be just this simple, that they need a little bit better alignment and that they need to work the soft tissue of these 2 muscles. But I'm Adam Reese. This is Grit Gym. We'll be back with the next with the next video tomorrow, which is on thoracic mobility and how we can capitalize on that so that everything out here in the shoulder is going to be better for everything that we go over in that video. But if your thoracic mobility is restricted, everything else, then your rib cage, because your rib cage sits on your thoracic spine, and then your shoulder blade sits on your rib cage, and then how the shoulder blade moves is going to dictate how the humerus moves, and that's this bone. So the scapula and this bone basically make up dictate how the shoulder blade's going to, or how the shoulder is going to move around. And if the shoulder can't move properly, we have a movement dysfunction, and that eventually leads to a injury. We don't want that. So encourage you, grab a program design session, come out to Grit Gym. We can do these online too. So even if you're in New York, what did I say earlier? Istanbul. If you're in Istanbul, which we have a few people from around the world that watch these videos, so it's kind of cool when they write into it, but write into me. But definitely send this to somebody that has a lot of trouble with their shoulder. Could be everything that they need, and then stop back in tomorrow and we'll go over more. Thanks for being here, guys. We'll see you soon.